One Nation Working Together rally in Washington, D.C. October 2nd brought many left-wing groups together to rally support for jobs, peace, social justice, and more money for schools. But leaders from the National Education Association say they've become the national scapegoat for America's failing public school system.
You take poverty, crime, unemployment, and you have people going, who can we blame that we can't fix those things? And you start to say, teachers. Let's blame the teachers for those kids who need so much coming into our schools.
Others, like talk show host Ed Schultz, say the media is not giving educators a fair shake.
I think there's a lot more success stories out there than what's being portrayed in the media. I think the family life in this country has changed dramatically over the last 20 years. And I think at this point right now there's a lot of teachers and administrators that are being vilified, no fault of their own, no fault of their training or education, but the fault of a degradation in society and the destruction of family in this country.
The fact is, nearly 50% of children in our nation's largest cities do not graduate from high school. The union is at the rally calling for school reform, but they don't want reform tied to accountability.
Whenever people talk about we need to judge merit or performance, they're always talking about we're going to judge you and rank you by a kid's test score. That's not fair to the kids. It's not fair to the families that are counting on good teachers.
Donna Stern is from Detroit. She's a member of the radical group BAM, By Any Means Necessary. She says she wants school reform.
Public education is a right, and it shouldn't be a race, which is what Race to the Top is making it. We disagree with the conditions of Race to the Top, which are, first, you have to bust your seniority system of the teachers. Second, you have to accept huge expansion of charters, and third, that you have to basically agree to mayoral control.
She draws a line in the sand when it comes to charter schools, even if they're safer and better educate Detroit students.
The schools in Detroit are bad, but the charters are making them worse. It's simply funneling money. And the suburban districts are taking advantage of the system to essentially set up segregated Detroit-only charters on their borders, which have a stripped-down education. One of our students that's here today goes to one of those schools. Yes, it's better than his neighborhood school, but he shouldn't have to settle for a school that has no music, no art, no drama, no phys ed. And, in order to have a slightly safe and, better education. And that's just unacceptable.
Nel Devato is a public school teacher in New York City. He came to the rally dressed as Superman. His protest to the movie Waiting for Superman.
This movie is a lie, and of course it's a very slanted truth. By the way, Jeffrey Canada, big part of the movie, all his 4 kids went to public school, and so did he. And he makes a pretty nice salary too, more than the chancellor. So, I think he's a great guy, but it's not his fault. He's doing a good job, and Oprah's trying to help the situation, bring some sort of light on the situation, a conversation.
He talks a good game. Sounds like he's even seen the film.
Did you see the movie?
Parts, most of it. I know what it's about, and I'm holding off a little bit. I've read the reviews. I've got a good feeling about what it's about. Did you see it?
I have.
But when it comes down to it, some say they want reform, but they're really not committed. Dennis Van Rokel is the president of the National Education Association. His membership accounts for 80% of school districts' budget. Is he ready to move ahead with meaningful reform that will give every child in America a quality education?
Back to that letter grade. A, B, C, or D?
Incomplete. I was a math teacher for 23 years. Sometimes it isn't a letter grade. Sometimes it's just incomplete. Our work is not done.
In Washington, D.C., Teresa Rashid, EAG TV.